I'm gonna say it. This anime kind of made me interested in torture. This anime is so fascinating in the different ways of torturing people and the ways that the main characters that we see in the first episode are so nonchalant that I am actually stunned how giddy and joyful they are in torturing, getting the blood, getting the pumping that adrenaline that we all need to to complete the task that we need. And the fact that torturing people in this anime specifically is legalized, it's all done by the book, so they can torture as many people as they want. And the fact that they have a client list, and they probably do multiple people per day or week, whatever. The fact that they have a hit list of the amount of people they have to torture, like again, because the people they're torturing are villains, so they probably have a laundry list of the evil scumbag that they have to torture, and they're happy about it. I mean, it's like a hobby to them. It's like it's basically free money for them because it doesn't really seem to be that much of a hassle for them. Like the main two characters that we see, like right off the bat, Steve, he he's kind of just emotionless. He seems to be the number one torturer in the world. Just he's ready to lock in, and he doesn't really have any issues with any of that. He just from the get go. I'm gonna teach this other guy, Theo. He's gonna be my subordinate. He's gonna be my student, and he has no qualms of teaching Steve, actually almost killing him at one point, just so he can understand the fundamentals of torturing someone. And Steve, he actually doesn't mind the the errors, the ways of torture. He actually doesn't mind any of that. Even though this was literally his first day, he was ecstatic to actually have a new job that isn't too easy, isn't too hard. It's just actually something that has a brand new challenge. The fact that he he again he just had no problem about any of that. It's so crazy how he's like a child that has so much energy to give when it comes to the ability to harm others. It's just so wild to me that all the main characters seem to be unhinged to a certain degree, and especially when we get to the torture shop. Torture shop again, they just treat it like it's a kid store. They have no again, they are so excited about the amount of torture toys that they could use. It is so wild to me to the point that they love inflicting pain onto others that it makes me wonder how they are in bed because the fact that you are willing to do this for fun, it makes me concerned if any of these people ever have a love partner, how they would act in bed. But that's another topic for another day. But regardless, again, you see all these characters just that be so giddy. And when the next character wants to get hired on, Mickey, he actually wants to try to apply for this job. See you, and the other guy just don't think he has what it takes to cut it. He thinks that he's too much of a kid because he is small. He is extraordinarily small and weak to the point I actually thought he was a legit child. And I was gonna say, are you actually gonna introduce a child into the business of torture. Like that sounds so unhinged, but this guy actually just an adult. He just has short man syndrome, and the fact that Mike he has this cute facade to him, but when it gets down to business, he really means to get down to business. Like he even says that even though this is just my first day, I have no qualms about killing you. Even though I had no knowledge of this, he actually used that to his advantage, saying that despite me not having no knowledge of how to properly torture someone, that only means that I could screw up and potentially kill you. So don't leave my hand. Don't put your life in my hand if you want to live. Cough up the information if you do not want to die, because I might mess up somewhere along the way. And he actually worked out for his advantage. I really like Mickey a lot. I think Mickey probably my favorite character of the four. Yeah, in this of the four in this first episode because he's just a wild bag of tricks. It's just so fascinating the way he acts. The fact that he even has a whole other hobby where he makes books about killing people, about horror and suspense, and it's just very. He seems like he had a lot of onions, a lot of layers to this onion. It's very interesting to me. And then you see Hugh. Hugh is interesting. If Hugh is so weird to me, having how like he wants to view society from a whole different entire lens, but the way you're going about it is by torturing people. You want to torture people. You want to see what society is like by torturing people. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And does also, especially where you apply to this torture business, knowing that torture most likely includes blood for obvious reasons. You have a fear of blood, and you still decide to apply. Now, thankfully, it worked out in his favor because torture kind of it had an infinite amount of ways of inflicting pain without including blood. So luckily for him, he's going to be very good at emotional damage, mental damage, waterboarding. He's going to be very good at a lot of those things. But it's just so funny to me where he actually shows off his face, and it just reminds me of Kakashi, where Kakashi cannot reveal his mask because his face is too beautiful. It's the same thing here where his face is too beautiful apparently. I wish we'd see it, but we obviously don't see it. I feel like that's just gonna be a gag in this entire anime where we don't actually see the face, which is gonna grind my gears because we're repeating history once again with Kakashi. But regardless, that's whatever. But still, the character that we get right here is honestly, it's a fascinating world that we're in so far. And I'm curious how this anime will develop. Let me know what you thought of this episode as a whole, and regardless, I'll see you guys in the next one.